Okay. This mnemonic I'm proud of. The way I remember this is I watch so much Terrace House. I've seen every season of Terrace House. And the vision of the seasons that I have is like, you know, when they're leaving the house and they set the key on the holder, whatever that's called. Setting the key. Konnichiwa. 私はエミと言います。今日、私たちは日本語を勉強しています。でも、まず、調子はどう？そして、Is this a phrase that's actually said in Japan? Can y'all let me know in the comments section? I learned it in my Memorize app, and I'm afraid it makes me sound like total gaijin, which I am. I'm gaijin. Up the spout. Is this like a throwback phrase? Is this like an old school phrase like from the 90s or something? Like, please let me know. Choshi waro, what's up? How are y'all doing? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Chrysanthus. Thank you so much for joining me today. And if you dig this video, I'm actually filming like 2 or 3 more. Today, we're gonna be studying some atarashi kotoba, and I will be giving y'all my cute and goofy AF mnemonics. Let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna be learning seasons, weather, outings, and a little bit of time, just a little bit of time. Traditional Japanese clothes. A lot of y'all will know this. It is
kimono.
Kimono. Kimono. You think of a beautiful kimono. Have a traffic accident. Kosuji ko ni au. 交通事故に遭う。
交通事故に遭う。
Notice that this isn't like to do, like shimasu. It's not like to have. It's actually to meet. に遭う. So keep that in mind. I was surprised to see that.
Have a traffic accident.
While I was studying this. Fall. Aki.
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 Months.
Months. I believe this is kagetsu.
ヶ月.
Yep, kagetsu.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. 2年前. Ni is 2, nen is year, mae, ago.
2年前.
2年前. Also, I might get some of these wrong, just to let y'all know. I am real, okay? Dating. Deto.
デート.
Deto. Vacation, holiday. Yasumi, I think.
休み.
Yeah, yasumi. And if y'all see this right here, this is the kanji for rest. And then just a me. Yeah.
Airplane.
Airplane. Okay. Hikoki. Hikoki.
飛行機.
Hikoki, right? My mnemonic for this, it was hard to make up, but I imagine like kind of like waking up on an airplane and looking at the guy sitting next to me, and he has a cookie, and I'm just like, hikoki? Like what? I want a cookie. Has that ever happened to you guys when you're on an airplane and you miss the cookie or the peanuts or the soda because you took a nap? My #1 tip for learning your new vocabulary is to do so with mnemonics. I'll be sharing some of my mnemonics, but to study them without mnemonics, you can get them down pretty quickly in the short term. And then in the long term, most people will just forget it, which learn that the hard way. Summer. Natsu.
夏.
And I think about when all the gnats come out, right? Natsu, like gnats all over the place. It's summer, bugs everywhere. It's the buggiest season, summer.
This year.
This year, kotoshi.
今年.
Kotoshi. Now, you would think that this would be like kontoshi, but there's no N. So just keep in mind that it's not like kon, this, toshi here. It's kotoshi. Cute and short.
To cry.
Right? To cry. Naku.
泣く.
Naku. All right. So the way I think about this is like a lot of problematic views in our society think that crying is not cool. So if you see your child crying and you're just like, whoa, it's gonna be okay. It's not cool to cry. That's how I remember it. Naku.
Happy.
Happy, joyful. 嬉しい。嬉しい。
嬉しい。
嬉しい. Alright, so it's not 嬉しい, it's 嬉しい. Traffic accident. 交通事故。
交通事故。
交通事故.
To climb a mountain.
To climb a mountain. 山に登る。
山に登る。
山に登る. And if y'all will notice, that's the kanji for mountain, yama. Also, sometimes you'll see it written as san. It has two different common readings, and like Mount Fuji, we call it Fuji-san. So,
Strange.
strange. Strange, hen. And it's a na adjective.
Hen.
Hen, and then you guys see I put na. Just keep in mind, to study your adjectives, if it's a na adjective, I would do this and I'd put na in parentheses because it can be very hard to remember what adjectives are actually na. So I remember the word with the type of adjective.
Go out on a date.
To go out on a date. This is very simple. デートする. To do a date.
デートする。
Yeah. デートする.
Amusement park.
Amusement park. 遊園地.
遊園地。To laugh. Smile.
To laugh, to smile. 笑う.
笑う。
Elementary school. 小学校. 小学校.
小学校。
One of the ways I remember this is I think about all the show and tell I had when I was in elementary school, and I know 学校, that's one of the first words I memorized. It's school. So the showing school, you know, the show and tell school. 小学校.
Last month.
Last month. 先月.
先月。
先月. So, yeah, pretty simple. You'll notice in a lot of time there's like rai, which is next, and sen, which is previous. So that's how you remember that. Museum. 博物館.
博物館。
博物館. To remember museum, I picture contemporary experimental art. And I picture a boot that's hacked up and it's in like this giant can. And I think a haku butsu kan, like a hacked boot can. And it's just, you know, maybe a little Warholian or something. It's a little pop. It's a little reclaimed art, if you will. So hakubutsukan.
The year before last.
The year
2
before
years ago.
last, 2 years ago. I think this is ototoshi.
おととし。
Yeah, ototoshi. Lonely. 寂しい.
寂しい。Smoke a cigarette.
Smoke a cigarette. That is タバコを吸う.
タバコを吸う。
Yeah, タバコを吸う.
Fishing.
Fishing. 釣り.
釣り。Warm.
Warm. 暖かい.
暖かい。
If y'all like this word, I made an entire sketch about learning this word and learning the past tense of this word, which was impossible. It is hard if you are an American trying to learn how to say past tense. 暖かかったです. But yeah, please watch that video. I'll link it above and below. It's based on my real life experience in Japanese
Buddhist
class.
temple.
So, Buddhist temple. お寺.
お寺。Days.
Days.
Specific day.
I think that's just Nichi.
日。
Nichi.
Tobacco.
Alright. Tobacco. It's very much like the just the katakana tobacco.
タバコ。
Tobacco. Camping. Camp. Camp. Same with tobacco. You know, this is a loan word. Camp.
キャンプ。For the first time.
For the first time. What do you say to somebody in Nihongo when you meet them for the first time? You might say, はじめまして. はじめまして. So that's what I remember to say はじめて for the first time.
初めて。
はじめて.
Well, let's see.
Well, let's see. I think that's
えっと。
yeah. But when I hear it, I hear people say 動物園
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 Specific month.
Specific month 月
月
If y'all have studied months, you'll know that January is 1月, February is 2月, March is 3月, going on, all the way down to 12月, December.
When
All right,
at the time
moving on. When at the time of. This is toki, and then you'll also see no toki. So, yeah. Time of childhood, kodomo no toki.
Of last year.
Last year. This one can be a bit hard to remember, but it's kyonen.
去年
And the way I know it's not like sentoshi or kyotoshi or something else is I think about like Conan O'Brien, and I'm just like, okay, I love Conan O'Brien, but I'm just like, Conan O'Brien is like so last year, like he hasn't had his show on a major cable or whatever, but I still watch it. But yeah, Kyonen, I think about Conan O'Brien. Just picture him.
Winter vacation.
Winter vacation. That is going to be fuyu yasumi. And fuyu is winter, so you just put winter and holiday together.
冬休み
Fuyu yasumi.
This time, next
This
time.
time, next time.
今度 Next month.
Next month. 来月.
来月
Now remember, if you can, sengetsu was last month. So next month is raigetsu. Just remember rai and sen in terms of time.
Specific year.
Specific year. Nen.
年
Yeah, nen.
To get on a plane.
To get on a plane. Hikoki ni noru. Noru is like to get on, to ride, I
飛
believe.
行機に乗る
Hikoki ni noru.
Spring
Spring
vacation.
vacation. Haru
春
yasumi.
休み
I just think about when is the season that all of the ladies, we just let down our hair. We don't have to keep it up in a bun. We don't have to keep it up in our styles. It's just hair everywhere. It's warm. It's nice. Haru. Okay, I think about haru, hair. It's the hair season. The hair is coming down.
Winter.
All right. Winter.
Fuyu.
Fuyu.
Hot.
Hot. Atsui.
暑い A half year.
Half a year. Hantoshi. Hantoshi. So hantoshi. If you think about han, that is half. You'll recognize that from time too. When you say like half past, that's you use han as well. And then toshi, we use it for year when we don't use nen. You know, it's toshi. So hantoshi.
Ago.
Ago. That's gonna be mae.
前
Thing, a tangible thing. That's gonna be mono. So
Mono.
mono. Okay.
To get on. To ride.
To get, to ride on. To get on, to ride on. Noru. We talked about that
Noru.
before. Noru.
Sad.
Sad. Sad is konoshi. And the
Konoshi.
way I remember this is I have this like girl in my mind. And she's like the saddest girl in the world. And I think of her and her name is Kana. And when I think of Kana, I'm just like, Kana, she's so freaking sad all the time. And I just invent characters in my mind to kind of remember these things. Like Sabi, I remember Sabi as like, she's really lonely. So Sabi, she really lonely. Like she ain't got no friends.
When I was a child.
When I was a child. So this is going to be kodomo no toki.
子供の時
And yeah, we already talked about no toki. Kodomo is child.
When I was a child. Shinto shrine.
Shinto shrine. Shinto shrine. Why is that so hard for me to say right now while I'm trying to go back and forth speaking two different languages? Okay. Shinto shrine. That's a tongue twister, okay? I think of a Shinto shrine that is filled with ginger and you go in there and it just smells like ginger and everybody's drinking ginger tea and people are like vibing out, like transcending on different types of spicy meditations, reaching all of these different levels of consciousness because of all of the ginger that they're eating. And Shinto shrine,
Jinja.
Jinja. So that's how I remember it. I don't think that has anything to do with the Shinto belief. So that is a mnemonic. It is not based in reality.
Church.
教会
Kyokai.
Season. Okay. This mnemonic I'm proud of. Kisetsu, season.
Kisetsu.
The way I remember this is I watch so much Terrace House. I've seen every season of Terrace House. And the vision of the seasons that I have is like, you know, when they're leaving the house and they set the key on the holder, whatever that's called, setting the key. And I think about all the different seasons of Terrace House. That's always a vision that sticks out to me of the different seasons. So I think of a season of Terrace House. I think about kisetsu, setting the key down. You know what I mean? Setting down a key. And if you haven't watched Terrace House and you're studying Japanese, I don't know what to tell you. Delicious thing. Food. おいしいもの.
おいしいもの.
おいしいもの. So we know mono is thing. And then おいしい, you'll hear it on Terrace House a lot. Every time they eat some food, they're like, おいしい. Cool is 涼しい.
涼しい.
涼しい. Spring, we talked about spring. 春.
春. To inhale.
And to
smoke.
inhale, to smoke. Sue. So I think about in the US, there's so many suits, lawsuits against big tobacco. And a lot of these suits were so that big tobacco couldn't just advertise whatever way they wanted to, like glamorize smoking. And so I think about all these suits, right? So when I think about smoking, I just think about, the lawsuits, suits. Yeah.
Ocean. Sea.
Ocean, sea. Umi. When I look at the ocean, I'm just like, ooh, me want to go into that, okay? I see myself, I'm like, ooh, me, yes, I'm gonna get in there. So that's how I think about it. I think about myself. I am a Pisces. Umi, the water, that's me. Ooh, me.
Summer vacation.
Okay? Summer vacation. Haru, not haru. Natsu yasumi. Remember the gnats flying everywhere because it's the summer. What's good? Natsu yasumi.
Money.
Money. Okay. Hear me out. What is the first purchase when you come into some money? It's gotta be a cane. Like a very nice walking stick with a gem on the top, or, you know, gold-plated squid or something cool, and you're just walking around with all of the money all around town, just walking with your cane. And the cane costs a lot of money, so...
Kane.
So like how we would say cane, in Japanese it would probably be more pronounced ka and ne. So I think about cane. Okane. It's kind of like, it would be like kind of like spelled like cane if you were to translate it into Romaji and then turn that Romaji into English. So, and O is polite. So okane. You'll also see o sashimi, o sushi, o sake. You put this in front of words that are a little, they could be impolite, they could be taboo, they could be, you know, you just want to polite them up just a little bit more, you know, raw fish. Thing, matter, intangible activities, happenings. This is going to be koto. これはkoto です。
koto.
はい、koto. Koto, mono, you know, mono is like a tangible thing. Mono. But when you talk about an event or something that you did last week, like when you want to say like, oh yeah, I did this thing last weekend, you would say koto, you wouldn't say mono for that.
Cold.
Cold. Samui. 寒い
Junior high school.
Junior high school 中学校
中学校
中学校 And to remember this, I think about how much trouble kids and like girls would get for chewing gum so much in middle school and like sticking it under desks. And I just think about it like gum, like chewing, like chew gakko. But also y'all will recognize chew is often used for middle. So this is just my mnemonic for this word.
To climb.
Not for everything. To climb. Noboru. Noboru.
登る
Yeah. And that's it. If y'all want some of these cards, please look in the description. I will link those cards there. I made this deck on Quizlet and I have studied it a lot, as you can tell. And what's so great about Quizlet, actually, not a sponsor, but they have this, they have different sections. So what I often do is learn, and I recommend y'all do learn the first time around, and then do flashcards the second time around. チャンネル登録よろしくお願いします. Please subscribe to this channel. じゃあ、また